Alright, what is up guys, it's Kyle, and today I'm going to talk about State of Decay again, and let you guys know about some new information, and overall just, talk about it. So, to reiterate it, State of Decay is a open world survival horror game where you play as survivors, and you have to survive a zombie outbreak. Now you start out as one main dude, protagonist. I really don't want to say protagonist because technically they said that the game doesn't really have an end, and so there's really no protagonist if there's no end, because a protagonist would mean something would have to happen to it. So you get choices. Well, you don't get choices, but you get to make choices, and the choices are made based upon what you do in the game. So like if you come across, a couple survivors and you don't want to help save them, like they're getting attacked, you don't want to save them, that's your choice. But then you think about, I could have had an extra life from those people, like, because the system, how it works in State of Decay is the more people you have, the more lives you have. And the point of this is you can be a lone wolf, but in the end, where's that going to get you? If you're trying to find, food and water and weapons and stuff, and you're by yourself, how are you gonna be able to sustain that if you get caught off guard? And because once you die, the game ends. So, like I said before, the game's open world. You can go anywhere. There are set missions, but they've already came out and said that you don't even have to do the first one. There's a tutorial one, which is kind of like starts you up, tells you how to how to play, but after that you don't have to do any of the missions. And I think that's pretty cool. The game can go on forever. Alright, so I like to talk about the basics of each survivor gets a skill, or gets skills. And the skills, there's 4 different skills, 4 basic skills, and they are cardio, wits, fighting, and shooting. So cardio is pretty much like when you're out, if you're running from zombies and you're out of stamina, they're going to most likely catch you because you can't really run away. So you're going to have to fight. But with cardio, you're able to run longer. That just, that makes sense. Wits is like a survivor that has the ability to think quick and think on the spot, and they're able to think up, situations like, we have zombies, they're rushing us quick, so we need to get out of here, and they'll make up a plan. They're the ones that can get out of sticky situations. Then you have fighting, which is pretty self-explanatory. You're better at fighting, so with melee weapons, you're able to, hit harder, you do more damage. And then you have shooting, which is, shooting. You have your shots are more deadly. So every survivor has a rating in the 4 skills, so they get the 4 skills. But you can have maybe say one survivor could have cardio 1, wits 2, fighting 4, and then shooting 7. And 1 is the weakest to 7 where is the best. And depending on what they have, that maybe go to you. Oh, maybe you meet a survivor that has really good shooting, and you might want to get him because you can have him or her watch, a guard tower and be the lookout because they're good shooting, so they're able to pick off people, pick off zombies before they reach your camp. So each skill provides a specific stat bonus, and they get higher, so the more you use them. So pretty much depending on what you do or how you play with that person, they can get their skills up. So if you get someone, if you do a lot of shooting with someone, then their shooting skill will be higher. If you do a lot of fighting with someone, then their fighting, So depending on how you play, the survivors adapt to how you play the game, not you adapting to how they're playing. So there's traits in the game, and they define how a survivor is. And so the list of traits is there's personality, there's chatterbox, there's a selfish asshole, which there's always a selfish asshole, a selfish asshole in every group. Like, I'm sure everyone knows someone who's selfish. It's just, it's what happens. There's a coward, there's born leader, there's braggart, there's autocrat, and daydreamer. And that's the only few they've announced, and they said there's dozens of personalities that you can encounter. So like the fact, like if someone could be a chatterbox, but he could also be a coward, meaning he could talk a lot and say that he could do a lot of things, but in the end, when shit hits the fan and he has to do something, he's afraid and he doesn't do anything. So you might get stuck with someone that is a coward and won't hold their ground. Like if you have a base and they'll just run, you know. So the traits reflect the survivor's background, and it's for you to depict how you see that person. So if someone was a mechanic, then they'd probably have the autocrat, which they can repair vehicles if you get like, you know, the ability to repair them. There's also ones where there's one called Eagle Eye, which is improved shooting skills, so you shoot faster than normal. There's also one called Hates Gore, which makes sense, you know. I mean, he hates gore, he doesn't like seeing blood and stuff. And then there's one called Dim Bulb, which is, it says wits takes a lot more work to raise. So meaning you have to work on your wits, that person, so you got to be able to get out of situations a lot with that person to get his wits out. So only some of the traits can lead to some people. So like there might be only a couple survivors you come across that have the leadership role, which means they can take control of a group and assess everything and be able to be the leader. Not everyone can be the leader. Even in society nowadays, there's only a couple leaders. Not everyone has a strong will to be able to take care of and control everything at one time. It's just too big of a job. So only some people with that much, well, I don't want to say charisma, but patience, all that comes with it. So there's also skills. So with traits you can mix skills, and skills are just kind of like real life skills, you know. Like you could have a bruiser, which is someone that is an athlete or is really big or strong, and he's able to carry heavier stuff. He doesn't tire as quick. He can use larger firearms. He can learn different melee techniques other than people that aren't strong. So that's bruiser. And you got construction, which is like architects, mechanics, electricians, engineers, and they can, when you're exploring, they might have the fact and be able to build like workshops, which can do anything with like building beds, building like a garage to fix up cars and stuff like that. Excuse me. They got leadership, which is the born leader, which I was talking about, and it unlocks a special effect to allow that person with the leadership to boost the combat effectiveness. So if you have a leader in your group, everyone around that person gets better and smarter and more adapt. They adapt more to the surrounding. And we got counseling. Counseling is someone that's a people person, or like a funeral director or a stylist, or someone that talks a lot. I don't want to say talks a lot, because that's kind of like stereotypical, but like someone that has good verbal skills and able to, you know, talk someone down or talk someone up, or be able to, you know, listen to someone.
They'll be on their way soon.
So these people have no impact on combat or exploration, but it prevents community conflict. So if there's like a conflict going on, like someone died and they're trying to blame it on someone else, then these people come in and they, you know, try and mellow out the situation. So it might be something to, you know, want one of those people, because you never want someone to get all pissed and then start, you know, going on a shooting rampage or something. Next one we got is sexting. Yes, literally sexting. So this is someone that's a sleaze or a flirt, and pretty much if they have that, they don't do anything in the game. Like, they do things, but they're gonna have to learn harder because, like, the game it's a apocalypse. So no internet service, no phone. So what are they gonna do? They can't sext over nothing, And then you got sports trivia, which is people that know about, sports. I mean, that's straightforward. So there's customization in the game to a point. You can develop a survivor how they not how they look, but how they play. So say you use one dude because he has a sniper rifle and you like that person a lot, right? So you take him out a lot and you kill a lot of zombies with the sniper, and you get him really good with the sniper. His sniper skill is gonna raise. But a backfall of this, if you get his up only, and you don't focus on anyone else, then what's gonna happen if he dies? Who's gonna fall on? The next person that are you gonna trust if they didn't have any skills that to your liking? So at this point, customization, you'd want to have a majority of everything. So you'd want to have people that are good at fighting, people that are good at shooting, people that are good at growing crops, doing all that stuff. So it's like one big melting pot, and so if one person goes down, you have I don't want to say a backup because it's kind of like strong. Just he died, we got to go on. But I mean, then again, if the zombie apocalypse is real, that's what you'd have to do. You just have to move on, or else you're gonna die yourself. So each survivor can only have one specialization of a weapon. So they can either have shotgun, pistol, assault rifle, sniper, SMG, stuff like that.
I'm loaded up. See you back at base.
We'll be ready.
So to sum it all up with the customization part, the couple of survivors that you're gonna likely encounter. One's name is Thomas Ritter, and his traits are he's a father figure, so he protects against fear, and he objects to selfish actions. So if someone's being selfish in your community, he's the one that's going to stand up for the other people and be like, you're being selfish and you're wrong. He also has Carpenter, which provides a construction skill, so he's able to build stuff. He has Travel, which is wits +1, and he has the camping and traveling are part of his hobbies, and hobbies go to skills and stuff like that. So his camping upgrades his wits to +2 and cardio +1. And he also has Organizer, which provides the leadership skill. So he's able to, be the born leader, and he's able to, control a bunch of people. So as his starting equipment, he has a revolver, an M1917, which is a .45 caliber, and it's aging classic from the last days of World War II or World War I, a collector favorite.
I'm loaded up. See you back at base.
He also starts with a crowbar, and pretty much, even though he starts with these weapons, like say, you want this guy, you like this guy, but you don't want him to use a revolver, you want him to use an assault rifle. You can do that. You can make him use whatever you want. That's all completely up to you. Just the only thing you can't do is change how they look. Then you also got Sam Hoffman, and Sam has Iconoclast or something like that. And what it is resistant to fear. So he's not a coward. So he's the opposite of that. So if shit hits the fan and zombies are invading, he's gonna stand there and stand his ground and fight it out. And he's he wants to be up top. So, or she, my bad. It's a girl. I should have known that. So pretty much she is resistant to fear, so she becomes insensitive when she's feeling good about herself. So she's pretty much conceited. That's what it pretty much sounds like. I guess.
I'm loaded up.
She also has service job, so her wits go up +1. She's eagle-eyed, so she has faster shooting. and she has great reflexes, so she provides the acrobatic skill, so she can climb faster and do all that stuff. She starts out with a shotgun, and it's called the Warden, and it's low profile, slim but brutal. And she also starts out with a lead pipe. And again, you can make her be however you want, and whatever gun you want. There's another guy named Alan Gunderson. He's an autocrat, so he's also resistant to fear. He's prone to anger. He becomes overbearing when he's feeling good about himself. So, to explain this, pretty much, he can get really angry quick. And the fact of this means that if there's something happening and someone says that he's a little bitch or something, I don't know, just an example, go with it, he's going to get really mad. And temper issues might affect how it survives, because you can lose it. And what's going to happen if he loses it and he just starts going crazy? He also has law enforcement, so his shooting is +2, and he loves range shooting, so his shooting's +1 also, so that means from those two hobbies he gets a shooting +3. He also has eagle-eyed, which is faster shooting skill improvement, and he starts with 700 Huntsman, which is a 7.62 millimeter. It's a classic scoped hunting rifle, and versions of it are used by the military. He also starts out with a machete, and good for fucking chopping zombies into fucking pieces. I mean, fuck yeah, why wouldn't you want to do that? Chop their fucking neck off. So it was pretty much the people. Now, the thing that, like, I don't want to say it's bad, because, I mean, it's not really their fault. They're trying to, get the game out, and they want it to be as good as they are. But the game really hasn't had any news lately. And a lot of people are kind of, upset that they're not able to see new trailers. I mean, they've released a couple pictures here and there, but really, a picture's not going to do much. I mean, yeah, it's going to overhype you, but you want to see trailers. You want to see a little bit of gameplay. And I'm sure even if it was alpha gameplay or beta gameplay, people still want to see it. To me, I don't care if it's beta gameplay, because I know that that's not what it's going to be when it's final. So if people can learn to look past that, then and understand that the game's not going to look like it does in beta, it's going to look better, then maybe they would post videos. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. But a couple of these pictures show the watchtower, and they give a description that it doesn't need to look fancy.
We'll be ready.
So it's, all fenced up with, picket fence and stuff. Then they have another one where it shows them fighting off hordes of zombies. They have the workplace, which is, like a shed, like a workbench, and it has all that stuff for tools. They have a bed, like, a shack for beds. And they also have, which is a pretty interesting one, an inside shot. Well, the other shots are inside too, but like an inside of the kitchen, and one guy eating like a can of beans or something like that, and the other guy trying to like cooking his food or cooking food for like the whole place, for the whole community. Now, games also they released like audio of the game, like composed audio, which allows you to hear how the but like how music's going to be in the game. Like if shit starts going crazy, maybe the music will start like kicking up and stuff. Now you can get radios in the game, which you can call for like airdrops or like bombs, air bombing. But I wouldn't probably do that much often if it was me, because a bomb is gonna make a lot of noise.
See you back at base.
Noise attracts zombies. So that's kind of like the opposite of what you want to do. Now there's crises and challenges, and these are gonna affect how you play. Now you are gonna need to get food and water, and that's the number one priority in anything, whether it's a zombie apocalypse or even surviving out in the wilderness, or even daily life. You're sitting at your computer, or you're at work, or you're at school. You got to drink water and you got to eat. If you don't do that, you're gonna die. You're gonna perish. Everyone has to eat and drink, so that's always the number one thing. The second thing is medicine. You need to get medicine. Because if you don't want sick people around you all the time, if there's no medicine, because sickness causes disease, disease can spread, and that's not good for the long run. There's also ammo. Obviously, you're going to need to get ammo, because ammo's going to be short. It's going to be low in supply because it's a zombie apocalypse. What are you going to do? Then also building materials, you need like wood, logs and all that stuff. Then there's fuel. They haven't said that I can't talk right now. They've stated that the cars aren't going to run out of fuel, but fuel can be for fire, fuel can be for
I'm loaded
anything.
up. See you back at base.
And I mean, given you can also make fuel, or not, you don't need fuel to make a fire, but I mean, it's just something easier. There's also electricity, beds you gotta make. There's kitchens, it's pretty much like I was saying before. There's workshops and stuff like that. And to kind of like wrap this up, well, I don't want to say like wrap it up, but to kind of go on another limb. Another thing there is what did I say? Damn, I just lost my track. Like, you can get silencers on weapons, but they kind of like deteriorate after a while. So like, you got to be careful. Oh, you only got 10 shots with the silencer until it breaks. So do you want to take 10 shots, or do you want to only use the silencer when you need it? So you kind of want to sneak around. Now, the game has no release date right now. It is expected supposedly early 2013, kind of like spring area. So I don't really know when it's at, but on like their website, they've stated that they have to get a couple bugs out. There's a couple bugs they gotta
I'm loaded up. See you back
do,
at base.
and they want to make sure it's all polished, because they gotta make it as good as they can, because they want Microsoft to approve it right away. They don't want it to be like a long thing. Oh, Microsoft doesn't approve it, and then they gotta go back and do all this stuff. So they want to do everything they can, then send it to Microsoft. So that would be at least a week or two before they send it to Microsoft. Then Microsoft will take it and process it and analyze it and see how the game is. And then eventually, don't know when the time is, but eventually it will come out on the Xbox market and on PC. But first, it's coming out on Xbox. That's a big thing. It's first an Xbox title. It is going to be put onto PC, but it's first Xbox. Now, there is no multiplayer in it. It's a single-player game, but they have plans for a multiplayer game that's the exact same game, like a copy over, but it's an MMO, so you can play with all your friends. So it's kind of like a State of Decay thing. But don't try and think it's like a gimmick or like a scam. Like, why couldn't they just put multiplayer in this? And they're mainly focusing on the campaign and the single player, not necessarily campaign, but the single player experience, because they want to see if the people get the feel for the game that they're pushing, which is like, you're kind of like shit out of luck, and you have to try and survive with wits and tactics and see all the feedback from people. And if the feedback's good, then they'll go along with the multiplayer. But they don't want to just put out a multiplayer, because then people will think, oh, they're just like everyone else putting multiplayer in it. Another thing I want to talk about before we close this up is there's bases,
I'm loaded
and
up.
there's also
See you back at base.
there's like bases that can be turned into like homes and shelter, and then there's just outposts. And like an outpost would be just a random house that you just like kind of board up and you just have there for like one night or something. A base would be like a huge church or a monastery where you board up the walls, board up the windows, but you have like a huge fence around the place to prevent zombies, to prevent zombies to a point, because eventually zombies are gonna get in. No matter how many types of things you got, they're gonna get in. It's gonna happen. So you gotta be on your wits to repair things and stuff like that. Now there are cars in the game, but there's limited amounts of cars. You gotta think about it. If it's zombie apocalypse, you're not gonna just walk outside your house and find a million cars. They're limited and they're resourceful. Also, there's like, let me know. Anyways, kind of lost now, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this State of Decay talking.
I'm loaded
I know
up.
there hasn't been a
See you
lot
back
of
at base.
information about
We'll
it,
be ready.
but I hope this was, informational, if that's a word, or helpful in a way for people to, know about the game and read about it. And yeah, so this is Kyle, and I'll talk to you guys later. And also, when State of Decay comes out, check back for gameplay, because I will try and put out some gameplay, because I'm really looking forward to this game. So yeah, I'll leave you guys with that. Thanks for watching, and have a good day. Later.